Hey, what's going on, guys? Gonna give everyone a second to hop on. What's going on? What's going on? Let's give everyone a second to hop in here. Get this going live now. What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? Ken S. Abandoned. YouTube trader Ella Anissa. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Got 15 people joining. Let's just gonna keep going. Get some more folks in here. Hope you guys had a decent trading day, better than me. What's up, Chris? What's up, Eric? What's going on, guys? Just give me another 30 seconds to a minute. Let folks come in. Robbie Marks Production, how are we? How are we? Okay, let's see, let's see. Alrighty, let me see here. Give me a sec. We got 30 people. Hello, hello. Adam, how are we? Welcome to the chat. Hope you guys are doing all right. Just quickly do this on StockTwits. Okay, let's see. Live now. Live now. Let me see here. Should be good to rock in a second, guys. Okay, people are joining. How are you? What's going on? Cool, guys. I'm just going to really get started. So, honestly, today, just a terrible trading day all around for me. Markets roared. I was super excited when I woke up. Saw a ton of small cap gappers, tons of liquidity pre-market. Tons and tons of liquidity pre-market, millions of shares. It reminded me of the old days 6-8 months ago when things were just gapping and you could buy dips, everything ripped. So I thought today might be the time where we size in. And that's really what killed me today. I lost about 8 to 10 scalps for a good net 10 to 12K a pop with tight stop losses, 4 to 6% each. And I just didn't nail some of my spots. I was catching dips. I was waiting for dumps, and I was catching dips and then they'd go lower. I was catching support dips too. Just a poorly executed trading day. I'm going to talk through why. I'm going to talk through the global markets. Going to talk through a account challenge in 2022. Going to mention a bunch of stuff, but hopefully today I'm going to talk through either mistakes you guys have also made or mistakes that I can potentially save you of making, right? So you can't go green every day in trading. Today was a larger red day for me, almost six figures. Second worst trading day of my career / year so far. Never fun to have them. As you can tell, probably my voice. I'm not upset about it. I'm not concerned. It's just they happen. Just didn't nail my spots. Yeah, it could have easily been a green $100,000 day, and then we'd be sitting here saying, "Oh, what did Spud do today?" And it happens. It's part of trading. You can't win and lose. The end goal, right, is account growth. The end goal at the end of the year is for your account to be green. If you can do that every single year, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, quarter in, half year, if you could do that consistently, you're fine. You're fine. You're doing a great job. You're beating 70, 80, 90% of the global markets, guys. You have to understand hedge funds, large index funds, mutual funds, their end goal for the year, guys, is 10%, 8 to 10%. If you're netting more than that in a single year, you're winning. You're winning. You're beating large. You're winning. You're winning on account growth. That's all people shoot for at the end of the day in equities. So when folks, you guys don't understand, when you're making 50, 70, 100% on some of these trades, the global markets are not making that kind of coin. So, we do get a little greedy. We do need to sit down a bit. And that's sort of what I kind of got brought back into reality at the end of the day. It's like, listen, you're crushing it this year. You got to focus in. We can't be taking these big oversized positions and taking losses. Liquidity was there today, though, and I'm going to talk through what happened and why. I will take questions at the end. I see a bunch of people joining now. Tickers I'm going to run through today. Before I get going, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a retail trader. I trade with my own money. Yes, I've turned $15,000 and over $2 million in the past 16 months, 14 months-ish. You can follow me on StockTwits. You can follow me on Discord. You can follow me on Webull. Very highly followed trader on all those platforms. I do not give stock advice. Everything I do is what I'm buying and selling in real time, whether it's a day trade, swing trade, long trade. Do trade at your own risk. Market is very volatile. You could lose what you invest. Awesome. So before I jump into it, so tickers I'm going to cover today are GRVI. This was a tricky one. I didn't love the news per se. I didn't think it warranted a huge gain, but the volume to me all day long, this traded almost $1 billion before lunchtime. And I thought we were going to get a rip to new highs and maybe even in here. And I'm going to talk through the chart here because all day long it consolidated. And, people were just riding dips. And I was like, wow, this is really strong. It never broke over this VWAP, which was about 850 most of the day. If it was over that, I thought it was going to do a move to the 1011s. I had some major size in here. That was my biggest loss of the day. I probably took a 30, 40K loss there. And this one kind of killed me a little bit. I was oversizing a bit. I was buying dips in here. I had about 40, 50,000 shares, and I stopped lost out in here towards the end of the day. I'm going to talk through that one. Core, I'm going to talk through why I thought that might be a potential mover. I took a major loss, 20, 25K there, and then it rips to 790s without me. I was at 740, 750 average, and then it took a loss under 710. So, just poorly execution on I'm going to talk through some of that. I'm also going to talk through the bright spots in the market. UPST, we swing alert in the 80s, 90s. This thing almost hit, what are we at, 380 right now? We're going to 400, 500. We're going to 1,000. Is this the next Tesla? I have no clue. This is out of control. I had no idea this would go this high. Price targets were 100, 150, 200. Anything over 200, you're going to the moon. You might as well go hang out with Bezos and Musk and go to the moon with UPST. But that stock, there's no words for it. It's a once in a 10-year, 20-year stock, I call it. Once in a blue moon, you hit jackpot sort of deal. I don't know where it's going. That thing was crazy. I'll talk through the chart there. AFRM, similar ordeal, a little heavier of a float. Not as big of a sort of a 5-10% gapper, but boy, same type of volume. Tons of buyers, no sellers. Going to talk through that, sort of the save now, pay later format. What else? And then core, I'm going to run through that chart. But yeah, so let's talk through the GRVI. Let's dive into this chart, guys. I'm going to take questions at the end, so stick around for another 10, 15 minutes. I'll do a Q&A at the end. As I mentioned, guys, red day, 97,000. Not a fun day to trade. I'm okay about it, not concerned. For everyone hopping on now, we'll talk through that later. So this out of the gates, I had a feeling out of the gates. Pre-market, this trade about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million shares pre-market. Saw the big candle out of the gate. Look at the big green candle, guys. 26 million shares. That's from obviously the morning as well. Then we gap up on 7 million shares up into the 9s from the mid to low 7s from the, 790s here. So I was like, okay, this is going to be probably the gapper of the day. I wanted to catch in dips in here. I tried to dip here. Got stopped right on the bar here for about 2% loss. Okay, so we're going lower. Then I wanted to catch maybe 790s, 8s. And then I started accumulating the 8s all day. 5,000 shares in there, 10,000 shares in there, 5,000 in here. Accumulated about 40, 50,000 shares, guys. Good size. About 300, 400 grand in here. Then we saw a rip here, and I'm like, okay, this could go. VWAP all day was sitting at around 840. And this is the 5-minute chart, guys. So I'm going to zoom in here. You see this consolidation? What's called a consolidation. So when a stock's consolidating, typically that means it could see new highs. I thought this thing was going to go green, 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 rip 936, maybe a break into 1050, quick 15, 20% gains. Maybe net around 60 to 80 grand, green day, call it a day, move on. Easy. I thought it was going to be an easy trade. And this is why we trade. It was not an easy trade. It got rejected here. I thought it retested. I thought it was going to break. It didn't break the 840, 850. Got rejected again on the wick. And then I said, okay, boom. I stopped out right in this red candle here, right down into the 790s. took a fat loss off 820, 830s. And then I missed this gap down, but I saw that coming because it just didn't break. It didn't break the 850. See how this VWAP here was 850 here? This thing could have broke. If it broke the 850, I think we probably would have saw the 920s, 930s, maybe new HOD. It's been a 10, 15% move. Guys, this traded $1 billion worth of liquidity before lunchtime, almost. So that is why I was bullish, because I'm like, the volume's outrageous. I'm getting one of the best entries. Everyone's overpaying in the 9s up here. That's where most of the volume was. So I thought for sure, okay, maybe we're going to see a gap up. We never got it. And it never tested it and ended up breaking down. It ended up breaking down into close. And as you can see, it's breaking down after hours. Not surprising. So that was that trade. The next trade I want to talk through is CORE. Don't even know what the news was. But let me tell you, this had great potential. I mean, we talk about potential. This was 9:30 in the morning here, guys. This gapped up 12%. 3%, which has really hit a high with another 15%. So that's a 20% move out of the gates. I saw the candle, started buying this dip. 780, I bought some. 750, 730. I got my average about 740, 760 in here. Started buying, and then boom, I rated out down in here. That was a $20,000 loss. Why I took the trade though in here was because I thought it consolidate, rip over VWAP, sell the 8 to 9 spike, boom, make 10, 20%, move on. These are typical trades that I would take on any trading day. Like, these are trades that I would just nail and normally have big green days, as you guys seen in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. These are trades that I just nail, and we come out and you're like, whoa, spot out a big green day, 50, 60, 70 grand. These are trades that normally I would take and hit well on. And you could see, right, it was below there. So I'm like, ooh, I got the best entry. Let me sell a rip up. No. And they just kept diving, and I'm selling at day's lows. Then we see a rip back down to 8 again. This ripped to 8 over VWAP for a second. I could have easily got out with nice profits. And no, I took a fat 20, 25K loss in here. So frustrating day, right? Like, I'm picking my spots and things aren't fluctuating and going the way that I think that they're going to go. And it's just one of those trading days. That was CORE. UPST. Took a small short today. I mean, look at this freaking thing. 383. I mean, Jesus Christmas. I took a nice short off this rip here. 7. Right here. 370. I was hoping we get a nice flush back down to 364. Stopped out at 371. Lost a couple grand there. Lost about 5, 7. Actually, no, it took about 10K loss on the options there too. So that's another 10, 15 grand there. Analyst targets were at 370. I thought that might be the top. It might trade down to 360. Get lucky with a nice 15, 20K gain. No, took a nice 10, 15K loss instead. This thing ripped higher. Thank God I did this. It would have another half a six-figure loss there. This thing is just continuing. Done being bearish on this name, most likely. It just continues. It's in no man's land. AFRM didn't play it today, but for swing traders, lured this late. I lured this late in the 120. Said take a look. It broke 120. Might see 150. We saw the 150. Hit my second price target here, which was 150. Now it's sort of consolidating higher on here. Does it break through 150? See 170s? Don't know. UPST's doing similar price action. Had a great day, though. A lot of range on this name. 144 to 153. It's a $9 move. It's a $9 move. That's a 4 or 5% move. That's big range on a high liquidity ticker. Let's look at the weekly chart on this thing. Look at the weekly, guys. It's literally a perfect U shape. We're seeing new highs. We broke to new highs. This may dip, and then see more new highs to 180, 190s if price targets continue to come in or good news catalyst hit the company, right? So that's a beautiful weekly chart. And that weekly chart goes all the way back to, I guess, 2021 when they IPO'd, I guess it looks like. So that's a weekly chart. Looks pretty solid. It's always good to zone out, and I have a bad tendency to do this as well, guys. I trade everything intraday, right? So everything for me is 5-minute intervals. Right here, as you can see, this is Webull Desktop, by the way. This is 5-minute intervals. Everything I trade is 5 minutes. So it's really good sometimes to pull out, take a breath, see what's going on in the daily, see what's going on in the weekly, 4-hour chart. Things look promising. As I mentioned in the last 7, 8 YouTube videos, when something breaks a 52-week high, it's not, oh my God, I should run for the hills. It's, wow, this stock is continuing strength. It's showing promise. There could be more upside. That's what you have to start to look at. That's how I start to analyze things when things break 52-week highs. 80% of the time that trade has worked out for him. When it breaks a high, you see another 5, 10, 15% upside, depending on whether that's a small cap or whether that's a large cap, etc. It's typically an easy trade for me to make that quick 5, 15%. When stocks break that 52-week high and sort of just stay there and then fluctuate, volume slows down, that's when I start to be like, ooh, okay, maybe that's the 20% of the 80% of trades that I'm not going to make a winning profit on, right? So do keep an eye on when stocks make that 52-week high, especially in these growth name, momentum tech names. I mean, these names are ridiculous, right? UPST, AFRM, Tesla, just absolute insanity worth of daily, weekly charts. So these are names I'd keep an eye on. I know there's a lot of folks asking me about OCGN. Let's talk through the OCGN chart here. And then I'm going to do Q&A in a couple minutes. I'm going to run through it because honestly, guys, I had a terrible day. I need to go get a beer. It was just a bad trading day for me. Let's talk through OCGN. I bought lotto calls. Wow, I got to keep going down because that's where I bought them. I bought lotto calls down in here. 750s. I bought them at 9. I was down 20% at one point. All of a sudden I woke up, I was up 200, 300, whatever percent, right? It went to the moon. Because this stock just kept going. Bought them in the low 7s in here before the run, and then it just took off. I don't know what this name's going to do. You got the WHO waiting approval. You got, it's a lot of fun. But the issue that I have with this name right now is that everyone's anticipating a huge move. There's a ton of what I call bag holders, or not even bag holders, a ton of longs in here from 30 cents, $1, $2, $4, $5. There's also longs from $12, $15, $16. So for me to see that, I think this could be a potential sell the news. News comes, it pops, and then sort of just trickles and fades out for the rest of the next couple of weeks. That's it. I think that could possibly happen. There's so much anticipation. It already moved 40% from the 6s. It's been a great move. For me, I alerted a sell. I think this should be a profit-taking name right now. I don't know. Everyone's saying, let's diamond hand it. Maybe it goes to 15, 16. Maybe it breaks out to 20. I don't know. But for me, it's had a tight-knit range. If we look at the range on the weekly chart, it's been consolidating for months in this zone. I mean, we've been consolidating since February all the way in here. So it could break out, test that 14 mark again. 14 is where I'd probably want to try a short again. But this could easily start to dump out, and it could retest those 4, 5, 6 zones. That being said, the vaccine companies, Pfizer, Moderna, Novavax, who else is doing vaccines? Any under the sun. They're very volatile, right? They're very volatile. They're very controlled. So you got to play the spurts. I think it's you play the swings, you sell the swings, you play the down, you play the down, you play the up. You keep going. It's very easy normally how to play it. You see the buying pressure, see the selling pressure. So for me, this was a lotto play. It worked out. I took some in the IRA. I made 10, 20%, moved on. So this was a great trade for me personally on the IRA. I know if you're not subscribed to my Discord premium, you highly should be. We called this in the 6s and the low 7s. It was a quick 20, 30% pop for a swing trade. Great trade for the team. Highly recommend. 17,000 members. Great community. You can see it in my YouTube bio. This was a great trade for the team. Also hearing a lot of CEI. I'll talk through this in 3 minutes. Get ready for your Q&A. Think of some questions to ask me. I'll do a 10-minute Q&A. CEI. I don't know where to start with this one. Alerted around 40, 50 cents. We ran to 485. Net profits of 800% at peak. I alerted major sells in the 2s, major sells in the 3s. I alerted major sells in the 4s. I kept alerting major sells because of this situation. All of a sudden, we had a 80% down 2-day run. And people's profits got absolutely wiped away. Alerted another buy volatility play at 89 cents. Also alerted a volatility buy at 1.20. All in the money right now. Could have sold that peak at 230, which was a few days ago. Tons of liquidity on this name, but I don't think the selling stops here, guys. I really don't. I like support at 120. I like bigger support in the 80s, maybe at 1. I think this maybe trickles around there for a while. I do think this maybe can hold over 1 for the next couple sessions or maybe a couple weeks. I do like it from a liquidity standpoint. There's a ton of algos here, buying and selling shares, so you can get in and get out. There's just heavy selling pressure. There's more selling than buying right now. And so for me, those reasons I like to say I'm out. So I'm sidelines on this name for now. There's been a lot of talk. It's an ugly chart. If you look at the weekly, the reason why I called the buy in the 0.40s is if you look at the weekly, the same thing happens every time it hits 33 cents or, 30, 40, 50, 60 cents. It pops. So if we go to the weekly chart here, right? We zoom in. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Oh, zoom out a bit. Oops, sorry. Zoom out a bit. Zoom out a bit. Excellent. So here's a weekly, right? We have support at 55 cents right in here in this candlestick. Then we go all the way to 310. Okay, great. That's a move. History likes to repeat itself, as I like to say. Then we get back to 65 cents. Okay, where do we go? We go to 294, 310, same thing. Then we get back to 45 cents. We buy if you were to buy the 45 cents, where do we go? Top of this wick is 143. Okay, bigger move. The bigger move then goes to 310. Same thing. That's 3 times in a couple years that it's done the same move. Now we get back to 33, 40, 50 cents. Where do we go? New weekly high, 485. So if you're going to play a chart, you should look at the weekly. You should look at the daily and weekly charts and look back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. See what the chart looks like. History tends to repeat itself. If you can get in early on some of these names and predict the move like I did, like the team did on this name, you can get in early and sell for big profits. And those are typically areas that I like to predict. When things get to a certain level, naked, it got to 10 cents again. We rode it at 10, 20, 30 cents. It rode all the way up to the $2 frames, 2,000% gain back in February. These are types of moves that you have to predict, though. You want to be in early. So I always try and get in early. I try and beat the crowd. I alert the beat the crowd plays. This was a great name. I don't know where this is going now. Maybe $1, maybe 80 cents. I'm not a big buyer until I see something on the chart that would make me a big buyer on this name. So I'm going to be done rambling. Today feels like a green day, although it's red. As I mentioned, if you're just hopping on, red day, 97,000, terrible freaking day. It happens. It happens. It happens. We just got to be better. I'll come out stronger tomorrow. I'll come out stronger in the next couple of weeks. We'll get all those gains back in no time. And we're going to hopefully hit all-time highs in the account, down from the all-time highs now from this day and a few other days in the past couple of weeks. Need to get back on target and close out the year strong. Updates, I will think about doing an account challenge in 2022. Hopefully January 1st, January 5th-ish area for 2022. I'm going to try a new account challenge. As everyone knows, I've turned 15,000 to over 2 million just by trading stocks, equities, and options. Mainly day trades with some long swings, as you notice as well. Start with small size, built up to great liquidity. I'm going to probably try and start another account challenge in 2022. Maybe 25K to 500K or maybe 10K to 300K, something like that, where it could be like a 2 to 3, 4, 5, 10x your account. So I'm thinking about the numbers. Maybe I'll take a poll and see what the deal is. But let's go to a Q&A. Think about some questions. Hit me with Q&A, guys. Awesome. So let's start with some questions. Let me get in here. We got 84 viewers. Hit me with the first question. Trading with Ali. Here we go. How do you know when to play shares versus options? How often do you play options versus shares? Great question. So Ali, when the markets are super volatile, like right now, I typically tend to lean on options. Why do I lean on options? I tend to lean on options in large caps because there's big volatility. If big large caps are down 2, 3, 4, 5% or up 2, 3, 4, 5%, that can equate to 200, 300, 400, 500% options gains. A lot of those stocks are very pricey and expensive, right? So for a folk with a small account, you can't really buy a $300 stock or an Amazon. You can't buy one share in Amazon and it goes up 2%. You don't make anything. You make 10, 20 bucks. But if you were to play options, if you were to buy $2,000 worth of options and you're up 200, 300, 400%, now you're making 8 or 10 grand on that same investment as you would being stock. So when there's a lot of volatility in the markets, I tend to lean on options because there's a lot more range percentage on tickers you can make profits on, upside or downside. As you guys know, I'm a day trader. I go both ways. I go short, I go long. I play the markets both ways. So Ali, hopefully that's helpful. When the tickers are more expensive, I like to do options, especially large caps. Small caps, I like to stick it strictly with shares. Usually the IV is very high, 3, 4, 500% implied volatility. So I typically do not like to play options on small cap or med cap stocks. Once in a while I will. Next chart. Where is trade? GTRJ, what do you think of the price action on GZXN today? It's a China EV retailer. Not even going to look at the chart. I like EV right now. You see Ford, Tesla making new highs. China, I'm staying away from China besides a few names. I like Baba off the 130, 140s, 150s even, where I alerted a long swing, multi-year play. I also like Didi, the Uber of China. I like that. I liked Didi. I like Didi down there. Those are the two that I like. Tencent as well. Those are the three large cap. I would stick with those if you're going to play China. I don't love everything else China. That's just obviously my opinion, what I've been playing. Those are the three that I've played. Bruce W., what is your broker? I use Webull. That's where I did my account challenge. I love Webull, 4 to 8 p.m. I'm also the most followed trader on Webull, 53,000 followers. You can follow me on the Webull app itself. Have not posted there in a long time. I'll be back there shortly. Webull, I do love Webull. I've used Fidelity. I've used E-Trade. I've used a bunch of stuff. I like Webull as a platform. Squid, what's your thought on Aptivo? APT? Yeah, Squid, I am still long. I bought a few thousand more shares over the last couple days. APVO, ticker APVO. I am long for 2022. I like that name. We played it from $6 to $90 in 3 or 4 days. It was some of the largest gains for some of the group back in early 2021. It's now back in my buy zone criteria between $15 and $20. I think any of those averages in there are great averages for 2022. Why I like that name? Ting Capital offered a $50 bid buyout. There's only about a million shares left for retail. Ting Capital owns about 40% of the float. It's a biotech name. They're risky, but as you've seen, CCXI, a lot of those other names I've alerted, big upsides. So APVO, I do like for the long in 2022. I do think you could see 50 to 200% upside from here. I like the name. I've been accumulating dips, and I'm going to stay long, and I'm going to keep my buy alert on that one. Trading with Ali, I just answered a question on you. Expiration dates, basically quickly, Ali. The shorter the expiration, the bigger the move. The longer out expiration, the less of the move. Pretty simple there. Fernando Bernardino, sorry if I spelled that wrong. NRXP BBIG, just by thinking about BBIG chart, had a breakout, couple price target upgrades. I think Seeking Alpha had a big target upgrade today. But you got to be careful with those. They're great day trades. Not sure about longs. Great day trades. Liquidity's been great on BBIG. NXRP as well. Had good data. Didn't play either, but both good charts. They could bounce, but they've been bouncing, so you do be concerned there. Not a bad area for profit taking. D Blood, what's your thoughts on Ater? Ater. Let's look up Ater. We have nice bounce. I remember this was in the 6s, right? Yeah, nice bounce from here, I guess. 7s, I guess. I don't love it. It was like one of those squeeze memes names. It was a great trade all up in here. You could have day traded a bunch, swing traded a bunch. Not a fan of it down here. It broke that 950 plane. Anything under 950, I'm bearish to the downside to the 5s, but that's me. Play it how you will. That's Ater. That's obviously, this is all just charting in my experience and what I see potentially on the chart. No idea where the heck it's going to go. I also don't know much about the company, just looking at the chart. Squid, also do you second guess on trades or just go with your first instinct? I go with my first instinct, but if things dip further or they rip higher on a short or they dip further on a buy, on a long, I'll try and start to average in a little bit more depending on how much size I have, Squid. So if I go in heavy with the size off a certain support line, it dumps more, I typically will take the loss, or maybe I'll try and scale in some more on dips and then sell rips. Hopefully that's helpful. SKLZ curling back up. Are you bullish? Silvio Franzi Sensei. I do not know that name too well, Skills. So I can't really answer that question. What are your thoughts on IM End name? Nishan. Don't know that name as well. Bruce W. Can't find your Discord. If you just scroll my YouTube link above, you should see the Discord. If you don't, it's discord.gg-spudzone. Discord.gg-spudzone. Super easy to find. That's my Discord. You can find it there. Chris Coffin, what's your favorite scanner? Favorite scanner, I use Trade Ideas. I use Webull Top Gainers. I use FinViz a little bit. I'm not a big component of buying scanners. You can see unusual volume off of different types of scanners or just presets. Webull Top Gainers is good. Webull Top Volume is good. You don't need to go too crazy with scanners. It could also get you in trouble, but they do identify some good plays off the washouts or maybe long-term stuff that's moving. Chris L. or Allie with another question. I'll try and quick. What do you think of UPS moving so much? In my opinion, it's overvalued. Is this a gamma squeeze? No, there's no squeeze. There's barely a short float on UPST. It's just big institutional shops trying to buy up the float. Retail buying as well. It's just a ton of buying. There's not much selling. The longs are sitting tight. People are saying it's very undervalued. Price targets are increasing. That's why it's moving up. I would not put anything a gamma squeeze about it. There's really rarely, there's not much of a short float on it yet, at least. Chris L, if not talked about, what's your best method for setting stop losses? So small caps, I like to put my stop loss around 5 to 8%. Large caps, if I go in with 7-figure type of moves, like millions of dollars worth, I'll keep it super tight, less than half a percentage, because I'm going to try and get a dip buy, right? Small caps, I'm already buying hopefully the best price that I personally think is the best price, whether that's buying a dip, whether that's buying a top thinking it's going to go more. Excuse me. So I like to keep my small caps a little tight, 5 to 8%, because I'm going in with sort of, a 6-figure to start. Chris Karch, not sure if you have done it already. Would you ever consider doing a YouTube live during an actual trading session? It's just too much. I alert my Discord group live almost minute by minute. Sometimes it's annoying hour by hour with all my ideas, what the markets are doing in real time. So a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people, question just want the alerts. So I'd like to do both ideas and alerts. I think it's just too much for me to do the whole live thing. But maybe one day, maybe in 2022 or maybe a random Friday or two, we can try it out. Any chance SPY goes down? I mean, Jeremy Colson, that's a crazy question, right? I mean, it could always go down. It's just like asking if the markets are going to go up. They're volatile markets right now. They could go up or down. So we'll see what happens. John asked, do you like Hut H? I don't know much about it. Seen some stuff on social media. Don't know much about that stock or ticker, what's going on. Hi, I'm Jason. Ether and FDOS. It has been rising for 6 months, no question. Okay. Arista Systems Trading. What's going on? Thoughts on APRI? Would love to see it get back 25, 28. A lot of people are bullish on that name. Know some great big name traders who are bullish on that name. Don't know much about data, when it's due or anything like that, but it's had a great chart, had a nice little run. Maybe it'll continue. Is there a big short float? Jeremy Colson on CEI. Yes, I believe there's a huge short float. I think it's at least 15, 20, 25% of the float, maybe even more at this time. Great. Trading with Ali. That could be true. I don't know much about the option or in the money calls. But anyone who has calls, but yeah, that could push it up. That could be a reason. Not so sure. I just know a lot of people have been hammering the buy sign on UPST. So I think that's also part of the run. Great. So I tried to get through a lot of questions, guys. I just went live there for 30, 40 minutes. I hope this session's helped. As I mentioned, red day 97,000. Not a great day. Let's not be happy with that. No one should be happy with that. I'm not happy with that. Need to be better. Need to be sizing in less. Need to be just taking small base hits. My goal per day is $10,000 green a day, $5,000 to $10,000 green a day. That's it. For me, that's about less than 1% of my accounts. If I get 5% a day, 5% a week, 20% a month. If I could continue to do that and just continue, 1, 2, 3, 4% a day, maybe 5, 10, 20% a week. If I could continue doing that, there's going to be new all-time highs that hit. There's going to be more account growth. And that's really what you should be shooting for, guys. Let's say 10% a week. That's 40% a month. That's over 400% a year. It's 480% a year, guys. That's huge. That's huge. So go for base hits. Don't shoot for the moon. If it happens, it happens. You could always move up the stop loss. You could always move up your take profit order. And that's the best way to grow account. That's from my experience, right? That's the best way to grow account. So keep your heads up. Markets have been super volatile. October is one of the hardest months to trade in the stock market the last 2 decades. It is the hardest month to trade volatility-wise. A lot of selling, a lot of buying, a lot of mixed messaging. Stay focused, stay confident. We'll get out of it. November, December, hoping for a great backside. So stay patient. Let's find the next couple big plays, big runners. You could always follow me on Discord, Stock Twits, or just follow me on here for the aftermath on YouTube. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff. Please give me feedback in Discord or Stock Twits. Love to hear it. Have a wonderful day. Let's trade better tomorrow and have a great weekend. Cheers, guys.